Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request for Jesse. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a random topic or tier list, ranking, movie news, movie review, re-review, commentary, reaction, video game playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App and Patreon. People have asked about those. Those links are down below in the info box. If you do choose PayPal, just make sure to choose the family and friends option. Always PayPal takes a cut of it. And if you do send it, thank you so much. I'll get to it as soon as I can, and thank you. I really appreciate it. Now, this is for an action film called Deadly Bet, a 1992 PM Entertainment film. Now, I love PM Entertainment. In my eyes, they took the ball from Canon Films in the 80s and how they were in the 80s. I think PM Entertainment was them in the 90s in terms of that type of straightforward, balls-to-the-wall action film. And whether it be films like Riots and other stuff with Gary Daniels, Jeff Speakman's film, I think Land of the Free was PM Entertainment. I think it's PM Entertainment, Land of the Free. Robert Patrick in Zero Tolerance. I think Jeff Wincott had some, like, I think Last Man Standing with him was PM Entertainment. Not all of them were great, but a lot of them were very fun and filled with kind of what your money's worth. In this case, there's a lot of fighting in this movie. A lot of fighting. And Jeff Wincott, I always thought was an underrated action star. You know, I liked him in Last Man Standing. I liked him in Mission of Justice. I would say those are my two favorites of his, but he was in Martial Law 2, I believe. Martial Outlaw. I think he had a bit role in Unstoppable, that Denzel Washington, Chris Evans. Not Chris Evans, Chris Pine. Chris Pine movie. But Jeff Wincott I always thought was a pretty decent actor. Very good martial artist. Really not got the respect he deserves. I mean, I believe he's related to Michael Wincott, and Michael Wincott was in Alien Resurrection and The Crow and other stuff. So yeah, I believe they're related. But yeah, Jeff Wincott, like I say, he never really got his just dues, so to speak, in his respect. Which is a shame, because like I said, I do think he's a pretty underrated action star. And if I could get his filmography, I should have had this before. He was on a TV show called Night Heat, which I didn't see much of. And 2019, him and his wife founded Hollow Metropolis Films, create and produce their own work. I forgot he was in the original Prom Night. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, Martial Law 2, Deadly Bet, Mission of Justice, Martial Outlaw. Open Fire, Sally was not a fan of that one. The Killing Machine. I don't think I saw that one with Michael Ironside. He was in a film called No Exit. Law of the Jungle. Yeah, I didn't see these. The Donor, which I think that's more of a thriller. Last Man Standing was great. When the Bullet Hits the Bone, that sounds like a song. When the Bullet Hits the Bone. I didn't know he was in the 2003 film SWAT. Maybe a bit part. Man, I didn't know that. Yeah, these just lesser direct-to-video films. Outside the Law, Pressure Point. And then films I've never heard of. Fall Fight Shine, which is a documentary that he's in. The Issue with Elvis. Kringle Time. I don't know. Future Fear. But yeah, some of these, like Future Fear, When the Bullet Hits the Bone. No Exit, The Kill Machine. I haven't seen these. I don't know if they're good or not. But yeah, I was just checking to see. Sorry. I don't know, it has nothing to do with the film 5 minutes in, but I was just curious what else he's done. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the more underrated action stars out there. Like I said, decent actor, had the good look, and very proficient in martial arts. And this, he plays a different type of character. He's a gambler, an impulsive gambler. It's in Vegas. He's with his girlfriend. And he owes this guy named Rico $1,000. Rico is played by Stephen Vincent Lee, which I liked him. I thought he's a guy that had a bit of a charm, a bit of a kind of smarmy charm. I thought he worked well as the villain there. So even though he owes this guy Rico $1,000, he's like, well, you got this fight going on with these two guys. Let's bet $5,000, and I'm gonna pit this guy to win. So it's funny that the first guy who fights is Gary Daniels, which I didn't realize he was in this movie. Because I've heard of this film. I might have seen the trailer to it a long time ago, but I had never seen it before. So Gary Daniels, who another great martial artist. He worked with Jackie Chan in City Hunter. He was in the Steven Seagal film Submerged. And like, such a terrible fight because Seagal did not let Gary Daniels do anything but get beat up in 10 seconds. But you do have the immortal line, Seagal says, "God sucker motherfucker!" Which is a funny line. That movie, man, that's Submerged. I could go a whole on 5 minutes about that movie. But yeah, Gary Daniels, he's done some good ones. Riot is my favorite of his. Cold Harvest, I believe, was one. Rage, Recoil, he's a decent amount. But anyway, he's got these like American flag pants on, and we get to see him have a fight with this other guy, and Gary Daniels actually wins. So this is 1992, so this is early for Gary to get started, and he become a direct-to-video star of his own. But Jeff Wincott, he's impulsive. He can't let things go. So even though Rico lost, he knows what this guy's Achilles heel is. How about we make another bet? Me and you get in the ring, and you only gotta last 10 minutes. He's like, oh, I don't. You know what, okay, let's do it. And she's like, no, don't do it. And then Rico's like, can you afford it? Yeah. Okay, how about this, if you can't pay, your girlfriend's collateral. And the guy agrees. So, of course, he's cocky. He's been drinking heavily. He's a bad gambler. He goes in. He does not last the 10 minutes. He loses. And the bad guy now has the girlfriend. Which, I mean, makes, Jeff Wincott's character a pretty piece of shit person. But, I mean, that's the point. Is that he is a guy that there needs to be an arc where he's going to clean himself up and be a better human being. Because he goes downhill, he gets into fights in this other part of town in the ring, including one where he fights two people at the same time, and he wins. He does it to make some money. He owes someone else money, and they go, okay, fine, you're going to be a debt collector for me. So you deal with my compadre here, you go around, you collect some debt that people owe, and if they give you trouble, you beat the hell out of them, which he does. And it pretty much goes on that for a while the girl, his girlfriend's at Rico's place, and Rico treats her like a queen, which I thought was actually kind of refreshing and different. Made it a bit more interesting, because it wasn't typical, he tied her up in a dungeon and just beat the shit out of her, But anyway, it's a bit more of a character movie for Jeff, where he's a guy who's like becoming more and more down on his luck and drinking more and more until finally he decides to clean himself up, do a bit of a training montage, and of course it's got to be a tournament, and it's like the last 15-20 minutes of the movie is his tournament where he's going to kick some ass and take some names. And the movie itself, there's a lot of fights in this. I mean, PM Entertainment, it's like a slasher film. You know, a slasher film, the hope is every 15 minutes you get a kill or nudity. Here, it felt like every 7 minutes or less, there's a damn fight scene, which I'm fine with. So there's a lot of them in this, and it's a pretty short film. So that makes the pace go pretty fast. So I like Jeff Wincott's performance. He's playing a different type of character, so that's cool. He's not playing the same character over and over again. Rico, I like that he was like a very kind of charming bad guy that when he's got the girl, hey, she wants to go do her hair, let her go. And like you could tell she's kind of warming up to him. I never really found a point where she's like, nah, maybe I should not go with this guy. Like, we know he's a bad guy. But I'm like, when does she know he's a bad... Because he's always treating her well. He's letting her go out. And this other guy, you'll put you up as collateral. I think that's one of the... I do like the film. I thought this was a fun movie. If you like fight scenes... If you like that era, you just want to see a ton of fight scenes happen with a guy who knows what he's doing. He's doing martial arts. You know, decent story, decent actor. This is definitely the movie for you. As it was for me. I do wish there was a point where he actually did apologize and say, listen, I'm sorry I put you up for collateral. It was the dumbest mistake I made. I never should have done that. He never really does that, though. Which he admits that, hey, I love you, and I know I've said we're going to get out of here and get out of town, but I really mean it this time. But he never apologizes. Like, get on your knees and apologize. Something, man. He needed to do at least... There needed to be at least one moment that he did that for her. And there needed to be one moment where she really sees Rico for what he's made of. Like, he snaps one point and slaps her. Which, okay, that's something Jeff Wincott never did. But this guy's willing to slap her, and he snapped. His resolve dissipated at one point. Like, she called him out on something. Rico, you know, is Wayne Brady going to slap a bitch? You know, and he's Wayne Brady. I think there needed to be that one moment where, yeah, he was treating me nice, but I can't be here. And then there need to be one moment, big moment, where Jeff Wincott apologizes to her. To me, that would have helped the story more. And yeah, as a story, you're kind of wondering where this is all going, because it's, okay, he lost his girl, but then she's happy to be there, and he seems like, well, she's happy to be there, and I guess it's done. Then there's this series of fights in this podunk bar in this rain where Gerald Akamura, which I remember he was in Samurai Cop and a lot of other, he was in Big Trouble in Little China. He fights someone, and then like two people with nunchucks fight each other, and there's a bit where, again, Jeff Wincott fights some good moves. He does a split kick and nice split kick and hits them both of them at the same time. And there's some good moves. I mean, Gary Daniels at the beginning does this kind of, he gets on his hands, he does a double mule kick, where both his back legs hit the guy while he's here, and his legs go back and hit the guy behind him. When he's a debt collector, and they go like 2, 3, 4 places. Each time he's like has to beat him up. He has to beat this guy, and then the guy gets pushed into a swimming pool, or he got beat a couple people in the bar. So again, I do like the fact that the director obviously knew, I don't know why I said that, obviously knew, hey, this is an action film. People want to see this. They're not watching Masterpiece Theater. They're not here to watch Shakespeare. They don't want to see a soap opera where nothing happens for 30 minutes. We have our story, but, okay, Even if Jeff can't get in all the fights, let's get other fights in there. Okay, Derry Daniels, you don't do a fight. Okay, Jared Okamura, you don't do a fight. Okay, you guys have nunchucks, you two don't do a fight. Okay, we've done the whole thing with he did some money in these fights. We've seen other fights in this ring. Okay, now you owe money to this guy. Now you gotta be a debt collector. Okay, this way we'll get more fights in there. And his whole story was supposed to be he's had enough. There's even a point that I did more spoilers. Like I said, if you want to see this, if you like Jeff Wincott, if you like those 90s martial arts films, you want to see fights happen every 7 or so minutes, and a 90-some minute running time. Really not much nudity. But again, I thought the bad guy, like I said, I didn't mind his kind of smile, charm. He reminded me of a little bit of Robin Shao from Mortal Kombat and a little bit of the guy from Karate Kid Part 2. I always forget his name, who played Chosen. He reminded me a little bit of those two guys. But it's not them, it's Steven Vincent Lee, but so yeah, I didn't mind him. Honestly, I thought Jeff Wincott actually gave a pretty decent performance. Again, there's just a little bit of the story I kind of wish they dot the I's and cross the T's to, and I already mentioned that. I didn't apologize. I'm sorry I put you up for collateral. That was a dick move on my part. At least you could do that. Come on now. But it kind of has. This film is like comfort food for me. It really is. Nice, heated comfort food. It was pretty straightforward. As a lead good guy who don't really like the character, but as it goes on, he's able to get a bit of a. I always forget the word. I'm always trying to think of the word. I always forget. A bit of a comeback for him. Repent, that type of thing. Multiple fight scenes that are fairly well done. There's not a lot of other types of action. If you don't expecting, you don't see a lot of other like explosions, car chases. It's not the kind of movie. Maybe some people will be disappointed that it only has fight scenes in it, but it does have quite a few of them, and the fight scenes are fine. I mean, I wouldn't say they were awe-inspiring, but they were fine. Definitely give your money's worth for that. You even did a montage where he's working out. He's able to change his ways. He doesn't drink anymore. He finds a quarter and gives it to a guy singing guitar. He's finally getting ready to head out. He's done with this. He's done collecting his debt. This guy goes, "Oh yeah, you don't leave? Well, try me. Try to stop me." Okay, how about this? There's a tournament. $500,000 reward. I want half. What? Then find another person. Fine, you did half. And then you have a finale where you have a bunch of fights. Granted, I kind of wish it was a bit longer. Because it's all, like, if you take out the end credits, it's only like 15 minutes for this. What, they said like 50 people were in this damn tournament? But at least it goes by pretty fast. I mean, it's no blood sport. The fight scene is no kickboxer, but it's fun. It's fun for one need to be, one need to showcase. And like I said, if you like Jeff Wincott, if the story somewhat intrigues you, you want to see a film with a bunch of fights in it, it's definitely worth a look. As a guy that, screwed up, and he finds his way back, gets himself cleaned up, kicks a lot of ass, gets his girlfriend back, and has a happy ending. Sometimes, if it's a rainy or soon will be snowy day out, you just want something simple. That we used to have these type of movies back in the day. They don't really make a whole lot of these type of movies now. it'd be overcomplicated, or tons of CGI, or tons of weird filters, because they think they're the next, I don't know, hot shit director. They don't know a fly on the wall from the fly in their pants. Zip up, dick. Sometimes you just want something simple and satisfying, and that's what this was. So I liked it, Daily Bet. Nice bit of a surprise. Surprised as a man, I'm surprised I didn't see this sooner. But thanks to Jesse, I have, so thank you. I appreciate that. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.